Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Legal Hackers Baltics cross-border digital lunch. And I'm very happy that today we have very nice two ladies from Latvia. So please welcome her. And also we have co-founder Risto from Estonia. So we both, I'm Martynas, like Vilnius co-founder, and Risto Estonia co-founder. We will be moderators today. And today, first I would like to introduce who have connected like for the first time what we are doing here. So actually that Legal Hackers Baltics cross-border lunch, it's like experimental 6 series of events which connects like different chapters of legal hackers. Those chapters are coming from Copenhagen, Stockholm, Helsinki, from Estonia, Vilnius, and also today you will meet with co-founders of Latvian chapter, or maybe Riga chapter. We will find out how it will be called probably. And that event is held once per week and organized by different chapter. And the idea is to share how we live in countries, how innovative people who are like connected with law and technology lives at the moment. So we are looking like for interesting people to make interesting talks during the lunch. And in general, it's held on Wednesdays, but sometimes it will be held also on Tuesdays. And what is Legal Hackers? If you don't know yet, so it's a global movement of lawyers, policymakers, technologists, and academics who explore and develop creative solutions to some of the most pressing issues in the intersection of law and technology. So we organize local meetups, hackathons, workshops, and other events. So if you're interested, please join to our nice community. And we have very nice, how it's called, motto, yeah, that we are explorers, we are doers, and we are legal hackers. So let's switch to this event. And first of all, I would like to welcome Risto, because Risto is the guy why we are here today. Because I remember when I was once in Tallinn in one event organized by Tartu University. So Risto came to me and asked, Martynas, when you will found legal hackers in Vilnius? Yeah, I said, okay, maybe it's a good idea. Why not? And after 3 months, Legal Hackers was founded in Vilnius. So, and Risto, tell me, you are somehow connected with also those very nice ladies from Latvia.
Yes, thank you very much. So indeed, I think with Arina we met like some 2 years ago. It's actually first time I meet with Elvīra, but Arina we met also in Tartu University, and we also had a discussion there that perhaps somebody could set up the Latvian chapter. So I'm really delighted to see that today it's a historic day. We have 3 chapters being formed. Latvia is, as I understand, also now next. And maybe a few words about Estonian legal hackers. I think it has been like 5 or 6 years already when we started with the first events. The last event actually has been, or the last year or more or so, has been actually very slow, and we all took time off because of the pandemic. And it's actually still feels that everybody has become even busier than before in their personal lives. and people are overwhelmed with all the online events, and there's this screen fatigue. So not very many people want to join the events, but I mean, today is a historic day, and we really need to do this. And I think it's a good initiative from you, Martina. So you have been like really a role model for all how many events you're organizing in Lithuania. And few years ago, actually, Ukraine was becoming really active in the legal hacker scene, and they still are. And I think that Lithuania might be becoming something similar. And maybe also about legal hackers, it's actually now, again, I might be mistaken with numbers, but we have more than 200 chapters all over the world. It has become the world's biggest global grassroots legal community or movement for legal technologists and the innovators. So it's a really, really great chance for collaboration, exchange of ideas, and legal hackers. It has been actually started in New York in 2012, and it really is a global phenomenon now. So everybody is very, very welcome to join, and it's about creating open culture for law. So, but I'm not going to steal any more time. I think that it would be now a great opportunity to hear from Arina and Elvīra what's happening in legal tech and legal innovation and legal services in general in Latvia, and to also have something similar happening already at some kind of communities, meetups, events, because which is very surprising for me as an Estonian lawyer is that actually I know quite a lot Lithuanian lawyers and what's happening in Lithuanian legal tech scene, but I have pretty much zero knowledge about what's happening in Latvia, although Estonia and Latvia are close neighbors. And I've had the discussion with also many other Estonian lawyers that the situation seems to be similar. So it's a really, really great opportunity and to hear what's happening. So please, whoever wants to start with some.
Maybe I can start by saying the beginnings of the Legal Hackers Latvia and how we maybe thought about this idea. Actually, an interesting fact about legal hackers in Latvia is that 2 years ago, a small group of law enthusiasts actually wanted to create this chapter, but at that point the interest was not so great, and maybe the lawyers and they were trying to find a community where to join and that are interested in technologies, but there was no such a community. So we wanted to create, but at that point there weren't so many people at that point to create this community. But after now 2 years or a year and a half, Arina came from Estonia with these new ideas and from this experience about Estonian legal hackers. So we're now opening up with a new drive and new energy and ideas, and it's a bigger community now. So we're hoping to finally launch it. I think Latvia is more ready for it now than it was 2 years ago. That's for sure one thing. About lawyers and interest in technologies, maybe that's something Arina can comment on, but I can maybe firstly comment on the startup scene in general. So in Latvia, we have more than 400 and plus startups in general in our ecosystem, but it's majority other startups than legal tech. And definitely legal tech is in short, and we see that there's an uprise in internationally in legal tech and investments, especially as we see in the last years, and they're gone vastly up. But in Latvia, it's only in an interest level currently. So we're trying to make this community and educate people and show these opportunities that there are some. We know in Estonia that there are prominent startups. We know that there's, for instance, Avocado. We know in Lithuania, Amberlo, for example. There are many startups, but in Latvia, I can only count a few. And it's mostly document automation platforms. We have e-identity, different kind of solutions. For example, we have Labis, which was an e-signing and a document management platform. We have from a law firm that tried to make a startup called Smart Laws, which also is an e-signing document management platform. And there are some students that tried to create solutions like the video we have, but none of them have really grown into anything big. So we are trying to create this platform to help them. So yes, but about lawyers, maybe Arina can comment something on that.
Yes, so first, so my name is Arina Stivriņa, and I am co-head of data protection practice group in law firm TGS Baltic, and I'm a member of Latvian Bar Association. So my everyday work is very much connected with data protection and technology, and I have also studied in the University of Tartu IT law program, where I met Risto, who introduced me and my then course mate Elvīra Krēķe to the idea of legal hackers. So we were actually really excited about that. And as we have already had knowledge that Elvīra Krēķe and Lievas Kolmeister has tried to organize the legal community to launch legal hackers chapters. So we joined our forces, and now we feel that there is really enough momentum for us to launch. And also, I would like to have a little announcement that our first kickoff event is planned for June 3rd, and we will be speaking about actually a topic which is very much connected with technology, about legal design, or how to make legal texts more comprehensible to the general public, which is a very actual topic, especially as technologies are coming in, and basically it's becoming more difficult to explain things to the general public. So and also in technology there are so many things which lawyers do not understand about technology, and so when we as lawyers have to explain things about technology to other lawyers, we sometimes run into problems. So this is what we will be talking about on June 3rd, and please follow us, and we will make an event announcement very soon, I hope. So yes, to continue about topic of legal startups in legal tech startups in Latvia, I must admit that yes, really there are not so many of them. One very promising idea which is connected with legal design is a new startup called Rock Terms, which is going to visualize your terms and conditions and privacy policies, which is actually a very an idea which I personally support, and which is deserving a lot more attention than maybe it has had. Also, I would like to tell a bit more about our co-founders, which are not present here today, but we also have basically all of us are lawyers currently, and which is what is very interesting. All 6 of us are ladies, or sorry, not 6 actually. There are more. We are like 8, I think. But all of us are women, and we have lawyers from law firms. Yulia Terihana and Anna Bogdanova from S01E3. We have Anna Vladimirova Kryukova from Cobalt, and also state sector represented, and we have 2 wonderful lawyers, Lievas Kolmeister and Elvīra Krēķe, which are also co-founders, and 3 of us are IT law program graduates from the University of Tartu. So it can be seen how this program contributes to the development of information technology law in Baltics.
Yeah, please, Martynas.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Actually, Risto, how you feel? You should feel very proud because you have so nice students here.
Absolutely, very proud. Yeah, so it's really impressive, and actually it's fantastic that you will have like actually 6 co-founders, because the more the people there, the better it is, and so you will need to deal with the diversity, I think, with to have some gender balance and stuff, but very popular word these days. But you touched the topic of legal design, and actually this has become really big recently. And to be honest, for a few years ago, I still was a little bit skeptical about legal design myself. It sounded a little bit like overhyped, but these days it has become really huge. And I know many successful lawyers that have actually quit law firm, practice work, and become like legal design entrepreneurs. And as you are probably already familiar, there was the Speak conference, or actually several legal design conferences in Finland over the recent years. So these topics are definitely important, and what I also see now that you touched the topic is one very big topic will be visualization of law in the future, and I'm also like looking myself in all kind of products which would help to visualize all the legal processes and so on. So this is definitely interesting, considering how complex everything in terms of regulation has become. So it's really interesting. We look forward. I understand this event on the 3rd of June is online, so anybody can join also. Or is it? Are you going to do it in Latvian, or is it in English, or how have you planned it?
We definitely are going to do it in English, because we have also already agreed with some very amazing speakers who have agreed to speak in our event. And one of them is from Finland, and it is Antti Inonen from .legal, which maybe Risto you are familiar already with. And another speaker who has agreed to speak is Ieva Ilves, advisor to President of Latvia, and on topics of digital policy. So we expect it to be a very interesting event. Also, as Risto correctly noted, we have we have lack of gender diversity. So we are inviting everyone who wants to join Legal Hackers in Latvia and to contribute to foundation of the chapter to join us. And as Martynas has said previously, you don't have to be a lawyer to join. We also welcome lawmakers, we welcome technology people, and basically, and students. Yes, very importantly, we welcome students and everyone who is interested in to work in the crossroads of law and technology.
Okay, great. We definitely will join your event. And I also wanted to ask, how is the situation with pandemic? Because at the moment, for example, in Lithuania, bars have opened like last week, and everyone just moved immediately to the bars, and it's very hard to attract people to online events. So how do you feel, how is the situation in Riga, in Latvia? Are people like very tired from pandemic, or still like more or less they are like doing okay? What do you think, will you attract like a lot of people to your like that demo event?
Well, in Latvia, we don't have any bars open yet, so everyone's at home still, and that's a big factor still. So I think those are who are really interested in legal tech always will be attracted, and always they will attend the event. For example, I didn't really tell much about myself, but I am the country manager of Hugo.legal Latvia, and we organized a hackathon in February for students, for example. And we were worried about these same things, that will people even join because they have these studies remotely, and will they be not tired and want to actually join after they have finished their studies during the day. But there were 22 students that joined, and we had like applicants coming in because they didn't have anything really to do anything else, and they didn't have anywhere to go outside, so they'd rather want to participate. So I'm not really worried about that. If interestants there are, they will come and join. But how is it with your maybe experience during the pandemic? How's been Lithuania and Estonia events?
In Estonia, we have, as I said, taken very, very slow recently, and it has been like a deliberate decision that we take a little bit of a break and see how the things will evolve, and will hopefully gain some more power and come back better than before. But I understood that Martynas was just organizing or participating in some hackathon recently, and Martynas maybe can comment. And so the participation was not very, very active, actually.
Yeah, actually, what we have found that hackathon, online hackathon, it's not very popular anymore, or maybe just we need to refresh, to go a little bit to the sun, to the bars, and then maybe to come back after vacation with the new power, and then probably on, let's say, October, September, maybe we can organize some successful hackathons online, or maybe even not online. So we will see how we will be lucky. But actually, the last two in which was I involved wasn't very popular, and in the last one, even mentors, we had more than participants. So you can imagine a situation. And yeah, but we live in very interesting times. Let's say pandemic. It's something new, so we cannot ask our parents, our grandfathers. Okay, maybe some grandfathers they remember what was happening after the First World War, but yeah, it's something new and unique, and we live in very interesting time. So however, pandemic in Lithuania, for example, have learned a lot of Lithuanians to use all those Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and to start working from home, from the distance. And so probably there is similar situation in Latvia. Can you comment how, you are as a lawyers, how you switched to, I don't know, are you still going to the office or are you working from home?
Yes, so in our law firm, we alternate between working from home and going to the office, because still there are some things which you can do from the distance, and also there are some clients who just are willing to meet in person. But pandemic has also had an effect that, for example, our practice in data protection has grown exponentially since the start of pandemics, as clients have firstly became more aware of all risks associated with working from home and online and distance work. And second, I don't know how it is in Estonia, and I have heard that in Lithuania there has been a big data breach recently, but in Latvia we also have experienced few data breaches, and the work with the data breach work has already also grown significantly.
Yeah, I can just comment from this side as well that in Estonia there have been, of course, also data breaches, quite a few, but I think that most data breaches get unreported in Estonia because the awareness about the GDPR and data protection is extremely low still. We actually had some breach in the end of last year, which was, I think it was some ministry, and it was related to the individuals that were supposed to get some corona vaccination or something. I already forgot the details, but there hasn't been any really active response on those topics from the state. For instance, in Finland, Arina is probably very well aware there was a big data breach of this psychiatric clinic, which ended up in bankruptcy, and there was 40,000 people whose health data was leaking. So it kind of raised the discussion really high in Finland. But yeah, similar things fortunately haven't happened yet in Estonia. But in general, I think that this workload in data protection, cybersecurity, and all related topics, now that we have the AI regulation coming, is exponentially increasing also here. Just that Estonia has been slow in the general catch up in terms of the awareness, and we are behind. I think we are behind even Latvia and Lithuania in this regard. So yeah, it's interesting times. Just one comment about the working remotely. I think that law firms will definitely see, but like any other business, this really exponential change in terms of how the lawyers will work, because I'm pretty sure that of course there will be a hybrid model. Many people want to come to office occasionally just to get some change from their home environment, but overall it will be probably part-time home, part-time in the office, and the offices will be pretty much disappearing to a great extent, in my opinion. And this will actually give also like a huge boost on all these online legal services and different new alternative legal business models. And actually, this is also something I wanted to ask from Elvīra and Arina, that do you see there any discussions also in Latvia in terms of maybe overall in the bar association or in the bigger law firms, how all those new trends are impacting you, and will there be some liberalization of legal services maybe in terms of how it is regulated? Because like licensed lawyers, the attorneys who are members of the bar association, as we all know, have very, very strict rules, and sometimes these rules are very antiquated. They are like from the old times, so they are not really up to date considering the current situation. So, do you see these discussions happening? What's the situation?
Well, actually, I can say that there is any very visible discussion regarding liberalization of legal services. However, what we have recently seen in Latvia, that law firms became companies finally. So we have a new law amendments enacted, that prior to that law firms were regulated mostly by civil law and not by the commercial law. And currently we have amendments to the law that all law firms will be subject to commercial register, and next year we will see probably first yearly reports filed to the commercial register, and so it will become more transparent in that sense. Also, regarding the topic of online legal services, during one of the Baltic cross-border digital lunches organized by Martynas, it was reflected upon a possibility of client coming into a legal law firm's office and using, for example, if someone pretends to be a lawyer's client and use deepfake. And actually, I think this is a very real risk, because state of the art currently really allows this to happen. And we have seen just recently a very good example of this, as someone pretended to be Alexei Navalny's collaboration partner, and actually even managed to get interviews with Latvian media and meetings with our parliament members. So this is one huge risk which should be taken into account, and maybe legal tech startups like Smart Law could help with to alleviate this risk.
I think, yes, it's an opportunity maybe for some e-identification startups to emerge in this, how to completely identify a person that it's not fake. So that's an opportunity maybe, if we go that way.
Yeah, actually, this is a very great point, the problem of that deep fakes. Because I was really surprised. We organized the event. We talked like a few weeks ago about deepfakes, and I read on mass media that Lithuanian foreign minister reported about that deepfake problem, which was used with Navalny, like member of Navalny office, which at the moment lives in Lithuania. But however, I also would like to know how is the situation with courts. So do you still have to participate in the court, or you can participate only online? And And also I know that Tilde, which we also had meet up with Tilde, so Latvian company which works with language technologies. And even Tilde, I remember when I was very young, like she had developed like Lithuanian keyboard, because we have not only Latin letters, but some extra. So we started to use like Tilde's keyboard. So that's how I remember like very well the Tilde company, and she came from Latvia. And they said that they are doing something with Latvian courts. So maybe you can, I know, like to use some like language technology tools in the courts, or maybe the judge are planning to use. So I'm not sure. Maybe you have heard something about that, and or maybe you can comment how the work is going on in the courts and with the clients. And
yeah. Okay. So regarding the court work, litigation work, courts are using online platforms such as MS Teams quite widely. However, there are a lot of cases in which we still have to go in person to the courts. Of course, criminal proceedings are ones in which I personally haven't experienced yet use of online platforms. Also, a very important thing happening right now is implementation of e-case system, which is on the way, and currently amendments to the law, to all procedural laws are on the way in Latvian Parliament. However, in administrative infringement proceedings, there has been already one litigation which was completely based on e-case from the very, very start until the end of it. So the pilot was successful, and currently the Ministry of Justice is working on further implementation of this. And also, I think that Elvīra could tell us more about, I understand that Elvīra has some experience with automation of applications to the court, right?
Not to the court, but in general, automation of documents. Well, first of all, a few years ago, I tried to build a startup myself that tried to automate documents. We became known of some jurisdictional problems and barriers why we didn't continue, but now in Hugo, we developed chatbots, which partially also automate documents. Not only, basically the product is that we talk with clients and we eventually matchmake them with a lawyer. Respective in their field, we just kind of understand the issue, and then we give this information to the lawyer. We're like a lead generation system to them. But in some cases, for example, the latest, we developed a chatbot which automates the documents for the commercial register. This is actually one of the also interesting things, talking back on the point where you were talking about whether things will be maybe automated remotely only in the future. Some institutions have now come up with statements that they are only accepting documents remotely. For example, commercial register is now one of them. So you now only have to submit documents remotely, and now it's you don't go really to the location, and you need also these lawyers that work remotely also can be helpful in these scenarios. Yes, basically people are really interested now currently in this, since I know in law firms maybe in some cases that are more serious, they want to meet up in person, but these smaller documents, they rather do this remotely. I have personally always worked remotely also when I was consulting clients on data protection matters. Of course, I had an office and I went there when it was needed, but most of the communication really went remotely, and people were ecstatic about that. It was quite efficient and also really easy for them to do this. You mentioned something about Tilde also. I really don't know whether they are creating something with the courts, but I know that they are also building chatbots, and I know that they have OCR technology for reading documents and translating them, and creating voice recordings into text. So I think something along the lines maybe can create it with courts, and it's just logical next step. So let's see what they will come up with.
Well, actually, while I was studying in Tartu University's IT law program, we together with Liv Rudzīte explored an idea to automate court application using small claims procedure, which is based on European Union's regulation. And it was a very interesting idea. However, we ran into some issues with e-signing across European Union, which is not yet developed to the complete acceptance and adoption. But also one very, very interesting topic which hasn't yet been very developed in Latvia is online dispute resolution. And I actually wanted to ask Martynas and Risto, maybe you can, in a few words, comment, how is it in Lithuania and Estonia? Do you have any widely adopted online dispute resolution in your respective countries?
Starting with Estonia, no, not really. There is, I don't know anything like specifically going on in this respect. But maybe just quickly a remark about the chatbots. Again, something which recently was very, very kind of maybe a little bit overhyped. It's now becoming a really big thing, and actually, from the Estonian front, I can say that just yesterday there was an announcement. Of course, this is not the new news. In a sense that Baltics, an Estonian company, has been around for almost like 1.5 years or something, but they now announced a funding round of 11 million euros yesterday, and they are building the negotiation technology that chatbots are negotiating contracts for large global companies, and this is clearly something which I think will be a very, very huge thing. I think Baltics itself doesn't want to associate themselves so much with legal tech, and they're more saying it's like some kind of business negotiation tech or some sort of new enterprise software, but it's clearly a subset of legal tech, in my opinion, negotiating contracts with AI. And I think this is something lawyers now might want to really pay attention in any country. But I will give it to Martynas back, and Martynas can comment the online dispute resolution if there is something specific happening in Lithuania in this regard.
Yeah, so in Lithuania, what I have found about ODR, so actually all like electronic shops, they added like the link to that European ODR system that you can solve the disputes. And our like one government body, which is responsible for solving those before the court those disputes, they made a project like maybe 5-6 years ago, and yeah, you can apply like online, so you don't need to send like paper version. You can apply online and to get result online also. So that's, I think, great. I know that one university in Lithuania is participating in a project of automatization of ODR, and they are investigating those like even small claims, like possibility to use in the court like ODR and something like that. And Risto, I remember that Estonia has announced that they are planning like to use ODR in the courts for the small claims. Maybe you can also comment what is the situation now with that project?
Yeah, there is already, to be honest, I haven't needed to use that myself, and I'm not dealing so much with claims, but there's already a system in place that for smaller claims you can use the process in a more automated way and submit the claim online, and then it goes to like a rather quick procedure, and only when the debtor makes like a counterclaim, then it will go into like actual litigation process and so on. And there are some discussions, and there are actually in Estonia, there's like a kind of a government AI strategy now, and the government is coming up with all kind of AI applications in different fields, and actually there is now some development also in the court system. I know that in May, very soon, there will be some discussions about what will happen in this court system. But yeah, as of now, I'm not really familiar with the latest status. Very soon, I think I will be available. Then I can share it more. But one thing about using AI applications and ODR in general is there has been also lots of hype around it, and sometimes also from Estonia there are like articles about robots already solving all the court cases and stuff. So this is obviously not happening. But I think that there definitely can be something for smaller claims, and this is a very rapidly changing field. So I will update when I hear more.
So just to add a little bit, why I think online dispute resolution is actually is very much needed already now, because during pandemics, I don't know how about Estonia and Lithuania, but in Latvia, C2C segment in selling and buying things has really grown dramatically. And there are a lot of small disputes in these relationships. And basically there is a huge underserved segment in this kind of disputes, because people, of course, they will not go to the court with, okay, let's imagine they have lost, I don't know, 50 euros by some fraudsters online. They will not go to court. They, in all cases, they will not also go to the police. And this is just unresolved. Many issues remain unresolved, and this is not justice isn't being served. And basically, this is just a huge underserved segment. And I'm wondering whether and who will come up with a suitable solution for this.
Thank you, Arina. I also would like to ask you, why like law and technology situation, like legal tech and that legal innovation, like market in Latvia is not very well developed? Because first, which Risto probably identified as a problem, maybe regulation is like a problem, because only, as understood, only lawyers can do some specific tasks in Latvia, if I'm right. And the second thing, also, I think maybe it's somehow connected with education, like legal education. So maybe you can comment, do you have some like legal tech related courses or law and technology courses in Latvia? And the third one, how is about access to open data? Actually, more like to legal resources. Can you like easily to get, let's say in machine readable format, the court decisions, or somehow it's kept in one company's hand, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe you can comment, is there any like talks in Latvia about like boosting open data, like openness of government data? What is the situation there?
I believe there are many things that you could identify. Why is this a bit lacking in Latvia? First of all, as you mentioned, it could be regulatory things. And as now we see, for example, in Estonia, you have how it's called e-invoices, right? In Latvia, we don't have this thing, and now it's only coming in. I think that regulation plays a big role. When a new regulation is adopted, there are open new opportunities for new startups and for new companies to develop, right, and new solutions as well. So that's one thing. And then about education also, yesterday I had this opportunity to actually talk with a master's student from Netherlands who is studying legal sciences, and basically she has courses on legal design. She has courses on how to build legal tech startups, and they have these practical tasks that they have to do, where they create this legal tech startup and then they train to pitch for investors. In Latvia, we really don't have this. Currently, we have only one program that I know, which is for master's law and technology, where you can gain some knowledge, but it's not really a master's program after which you can get a qualification. So it's just an additional course that you can get. So education is really a good start where to start. And thus Legal Hackers, I think, is a really great starting point, which will eventually connect with accelerators, with universities, and talk about this. Because it's not like in Latvia you don't have opportunities. You have the support. You have these accelerators that are very much welcome with legal tech. We have legal tech startups established in Latvia, like Juro and Agsdraft, which is now called Avodocs, that I know. But Latvian startups are somehow not joining in. So I think it's both. It's regulation, it's education, also on big part.
Yeah, so to add to what Elvīra has explained, I also think it's both education and regulation. Certainly, it's not maybe Martynas asked if there are any big restrictions for lawyers, regulatory restrictions. Basically, no, because we only have a monopoly of attorneys regarding criminal proceedings and some very few exceptions in civil proceedings. Basically, it's not very tightly regulated field of practice when it comes to representation. So, but yes, about education, I think the major problem lies there because, as Elvīra explained, we have only one program which is dedicated to law and technology, which is the Graduate School of Law. And University of Latvia, which is a major law school in Latvia, has just recently started to provide one course in law and technology. And when I was reviewing the program, I think it actually needs to be expanded and improved. And also, I think we, as legal hackers, we need to raise awareness about opportunities in these fields among students of law schools, because I don't see a huge interest in this field from students now, and I hope we will change that. Also, when we were now working with this document, which we need to submit to legal hackers to establish a chapter, there is this one part which is called name champions of your field who support establishment of legal hackers. And we were having problems with that because we thought, who are champions of law and technology in Latvia? And basically the answer is, it is us. It is us, our co-founders, which we have now we are the champions, and we have to take on this mission and raise awareness and attract more people to this field.
Exactly. That's a very good point. So you just have to take the initiative and things will start to evolve. Sorry, I needed to move away for a moment, but I might have missed something important. But I just wanted to comment about this legal education, and I think that this is really, really crucial. Because at Tartu University also, when I've been lecturing, I actually did a lecture on legal tech and legal innovation last fall, also to students. And also in Estonia, it's very seldom happens that these topics are being discussed, and young students especially, they are not really aware of what's happening in legal tech, and it might sound like evident for more experienced lawyers that are really keeping their eyes open, but I would say that lawyers are not trained for what is happening, and this change is really exponentially fast right now. So there should be more of those programs and more of those incubators, accelerators, whatever, and students should participate. And I think that Legal Hackers is a very good good way to introduce and talk about those topics as well. And Martynas maybe can comment. I think that Lithuania has been really advanced in this respect, because as far as I understand, there is a separate legal tech LL.M program in Vilnius in this Mykolas Romeris University, is it?
Yeah, actually, I have graduated in 2005. The program was called, master program was called Informatics and Law. So I remember I was writing my master about internet voting, by the way, before Estonia has launched, but it was very interesting at that moment. And we were like very optimistic about this. But yeah, at this moment, I think more or less like three schools, main schools of law in Lithuania, they have like courses, or even two of them, they have master programs connected to law and technology. So yeah, but if because I don't have like a lot of data, but I heard that those programs still, they are not like very popular at this moment. So probably they need just more time to attract more students to the programs.
I'm so sorry, Martynas. I would like to add, because you have asked us a question about open data, and we somehow did not answer that question, but it is also a very important question of, for example, machine-readable court judgments. We don't have them yet in Latvia. We have court judgments in open access, but they are all PDF files and they are not machine-readable. In one of my recent appeals, I wanted to use the data on how many people were prosecuted for the certain article of the criminal law, and what sentences they have been issued, and there is currently no open data on that. And of course, there are no issues with data protection regarding the articles which have many people prosecuted under, but there is still work to be done. And as far as I know, in the relevant ministry, the work is on the way to open access to some government data and to give companies some access, but it is more a discussion of how companies could integrate their data into state platforms, and not about state giving access to its data. So, yeah.
So it means that you have a lot of work to do to convince the government to change the policy. Because what I'm very happy that in Lithuania we have like the new government, which one of first maybe points they noted that open data, we will try to open as much as possible. So step by step, little by little, they are doing it. Of course, it needs like a lot of reform, because we have like a state enterprise which earns like a lot of money from selling the data, and we have to find out like new models of financing, or maybe just we need completely to change our, let's say, policy. Maybe, let's say, property register could be not held by the government, or even we maybe could put it on blockchain, as some countries already started to do. So just new ideas where we can move. But in general, legal hackers also, they are focusing a lot on open data. So I hope that with your chapter in Latvia, you will start, to promote this ideas about open data. So actually, it will help a lot to boost legal tech sector, to my opinion.
But what are your ideas? Like, for instance, Estonia, as you all know, has become really a forerunner in in terms of technology startups and these tech unicorns, and there's already like some sort of national competition of who's the next unicorn, and everybody's going crazy about it. It's even a little bit overhyped, I would say. But when we look at this scene, then as you say, you have only a few companies that are really visible in legal tech, like and even those few are maybe not so actively participating in those discussions in Latvia, and the same in Lithuania. And I would say the same in Estonia. We have just a few companies, and there is a kind of a discrepancy in terms of how many otherwise there are like tech startups and successful tech startups. So what should we be doing to get this Baltic countries as the legal tech hub, and then to really see that there would be some very successful legal tech company growing out from either Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia, and then like how can we all participate in this ecosystem? Like some ideas, maybe there should be some more cross-border cooperation, because everybody is like operating in their own small jurisdictions, and then somehow this legal tech is really behind fintech and all other areas. I think it's like very, very fast changing now, but still like there's something really missing. And do you have any ideas how to boost that environment, apart of creating the legal hackers chapter and maybe trying to get some law school programs changed and so on? Any thoughts?
I mean, fintech also wasn't very big in the first day, right? It has a snowball effect. So it's same with legal tech. It only has now started to grow in the past few years. So I think raising awareness, talking openly, and having these discussions also, yes, cross-border, some kind of community sharing experiences. I think what we're doing right now is also in a way helping, and we are just like getting to know each other's countries, what's going on, and trying to help each other maybe, and getting new ideas and what to implement maybe on our side. But yes, it's educational programs. It's just raising awareness in general, and also talking with other startups. Not only sticking into this legal tech bubble, but also trying to get to know what works in other industries, and maybe somehow we can implement that in legal tech. That also I think is somewhat also always helpful. So that's what I would suggest.
Mm-hmm. And talking of bubble, then I was just looking over some slides when I did this legal tech and innovation lecture at Tartu University recently. Then legal tech is actually a small bubble inside the big bubble. The big bubble is legal innovation, and part of that is like legal design thinking, legal process management, all kind of other stuff. And legal tech is only small part of it. But yeah, I think we need to have those discussions, and things will start to happen. All right.
Yeah. More you are in legal tech, I think more you think that a lot of things are connected. Even we have found that the lawyers who should write the Mars law should be coming from legal tech also. Because they are very innovative and they know how to regulate the new stuff. Yeah, so I'm very happy to have all of you in this fantastic digital lunch today. I'm very happy to see so very nice and smart women coming from Latvia, and I wish you all the best for your new chapter. And if you need any help, so please ask. We are ready to help.
Yes, and we hope all to join your first event online on the 3rd of June.
Yes.
Thank you very much for inviting us, and we hope to see you, and also we hope to see some more people from Lithuania and Estonia joining our 3rd June event. So please follow us. We have already a Facebook page, and we will shortly have a Twitter account. So please follow us and join our kickoff event.
Very cool. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.